What's up, Silver Stackers? Thanks so much for being here. This is Silver Slayer. You are going to miss my silver giveaway if you do not enter right now. I'm picking the winner on Wednesday. You better go enter because not only did I update my prize pool since I was feeling generous, I'm adding in a slightly skeptical t-shirt that just got released on ag47apparel.com. But not only that, Bully and Max saw I was doing a giveaway. They said, hey, we want to give the winner something as well. I was like, okay. So they're going to ship the winner directly from their own warehouse a 10-ounce silver bar. You do not want to miss this one, folks. Trust me, you will regret it. And by the way, shout out to Bully and Max for doing that. They really didn't have to, but they wanted to. They insisted like, hey, that's, congrats. We want to give the winner something too. So yeah. Let's talk about this question though. And I would love for you to participate in this video. Comment down below when you think silver will hit $100. Now, I'm definitely on the I guess on the more conservative side of things when we're talking about $100 silver. I don't like to hype it up. I don't want to mislead people or give them false hope. That's the last thing I want to do because that can drastically hurt your strategy if you're always thinking silver is going to explode tomorrow. I want people to understand that you still got time. You don't have to be so rushed and panicky. I've been stacking for 8-9 years, and when I first started back then, I was thinking that. I was like, silver's going to explode tomorrow. I got to spend all my paycheck. It's about to explode, and in 6 months from now, and I just found it at, at the right time. That mentality is so dangerous to have. Now, you got to remember back then, the situation was nowhere near as extreme as it is today. If it was going to, hypothetically explode, this would be the most logical time period, but I still want people to understand that we have some time, and I'm going to explain my reasoning. And every time someone talks about this question, they never give a direct answer. They never tell you a year. And if they do, they're going to beat around the bush. I'm going to tell you straight up. I'm going to tell you straight up. And I would love if in your comment you did the same. I could say silver's going to hit $500 in 10 years. But if I don't explain why I think that, I'm not saying much. I want this to be a conversation. So let's jump into this. Now, every time you cover a forecast or a silver price prediction video, it's kind of like the weatherman. But the thing to remember about when you're trying to predict silver prices is the unknown variable is the most important factor that a lot of people don't incorporate. They're just looking at it statistically. This will happen in the dollar index and this. You got to remember, a wrench could get thrown in next year and throw things way off, completely off. Got to remember that. Now, I'm going to talk about it logically, but remember, that could be way, way off. I could be completely wrong, and I'm probably going to be wrong to some extent, but from the information given, this is my best guess. The year 2026. The year 2026, maybe early 2027. And if silver was going to hit $100, and I was wrong, it would be sooner, not later than that, right? It's more likely that silver would hit $100 before 2026 than if I was wrong and it was later than that date. And I'll tell you all of this why. I'll explain all of this right now. Some of you might be saying, Silver Slayer, that's years down the line. What are you talking about? Silver could hit $100, next year, which it could. But if it hit $100 next year, I think that is way too fast. That would be extreme overbought territory. Then the market would correct back downwards and stay low from where it started, maybe even lower, for even longer. A prime example is Bitcoin in 2017. Bitcoin went from $1,800 to $18,000 within like 7 months. See, it went up, 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 but then it goes down, 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 down. You want it to go up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little more, down a little more. Then you build price stability at those levels. If silver went from $23 to $100 just straight up without any type of corrections or sell-offs or dips, there's no price stability at 30, 40, 50, 60. So when it does correct, which the overbought territory always does correct, it's called a correction, which is actually healthy, kind of funny, but it's true. There's no stability at any of those prices, so it will drop all the way back down. So you got to be patient, especially with precious metals. Precious metals isn't crypto, right? It's not crypto. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is not. This is a preservation. It's like putting your money in a time capsule. And you're patient, the long haulers, right? This is not the people that are trying to just flip some silver. Yes, you can be a quick flipper and make some money that way, but most of us, I would probably say 95% of us are in this for the long haul. So let me get more. I've kind of been just overgeneralizing just to give some context. Now I'm going to get into why. So the main reason I talk about $100 silver is because of silver's intrinsical value, the silver inside. Well, knowing that silver is the most highly conductive metal in the world for thermal conductivity, electricity, and even light sensitivity, silver is a special metal. It's special. It responds to other elements like no other metal. We're talking about elements on the periodic table here, folks, right? So silver is special, and it's used in technology. You know, most silver is used industrially for the industrial sector. Most gold is used for the monetary, it's a monetary metal. It's used for coins and jewelry. So silver is the metal that is going to explode, in my opinion. Now, this is where things can split in the silver stacking community, and I'm talking about opinion-wise. There is a lot of people that only look at silver's potential from the dollar index, CPI data. They're not even looking at the shortage side of things, the silver shortage. That is the biggest part. Low supply, high demand pushes the price up, right? That's investing 101. Well, we know that silver already has a struggling supply deficit. We know that production's been down for several years. We know that if demand already exceeded 1.12 billion ounces this year, imagine what the demand is going to be in, let's say, a decade from now. 4 billion ounces more. We're talking about the green revolution, every single country across the world going solar, which is PV cells, which is photovoltaics, which is silver. We're talking about electric vehicles. Every automobile company by the year 2030, remember that's an important date to take note of, is 2030. Every company by then will be electric. 5G towers covering everything is going to require silver, and we're already in a supply deficit. So Silver Slayer, since that's the case, wouldn't silver explode much faster? Well, we still have time. We still have time where people can sweep the severity of silver under the rug, and they're going to do so. They're going to manipulate prices, which price manipulation is a real thing, right? I've covered it several times. I've shown the lawsuits with JP Morgan. I've shown, even the employees' names that got sent to prison for manipulating the markets, which 3 of their employees did, 1 for racketeering, a 4th one. So we know it's manipulated, and we know it can be manipulated for not forever, because eventually the shortage, the supply deficit will overpower that type of money coming in. I mean, silver's prices are affected by all these different percentages. Maybe the dollar index is this percent, but supply shortage is this percent, but let's say gold's price is this percent. But when you're talking about supply and demand, the main fundamental that affects price of silver, when that starts to shine, nothing else, even if it is affecting it, is going to overtake that type of throw, right? So I say the year 2026 because by then, the silver shortage will be inevitable. It'll be blatantly obvious. We'll be getting closer and closer to every automobile company being electric, which by then, the year 2026, I feel is going to be a lot of cars being needed, but there's just not much silver to go around. By then, the entire world will be solar. I watched a documentary. There's already third world countries powering their entire cities with solar technology. Not only that, 5G towers. I mean, by then, by the year 2026, there will be such a high silver demand with such a low supply that the everyday companies will not, uh, they won't be able to, I guess, assume that there will be more silver. The people that are saying the silver shortage is a myth or a lie, which is funny because I've covered many videos showing the data, the numbers that's proving that's wrong. That won't be able to happen anymore. Right now, it still can. It still can. You know, that is when 2026 is when it will be blatantly obvious that there is a massive silver shortage and that silver is the most critical metal in the world, the most critical thing in the world. We're talking about the entire world going green for the sake of global warming and climate change. But if silver is the reason that can't happen, we're talking about the world, right? Imagine Joe Biden coming out and saying, we can't proceed with the Green New Deal because we don't have enough silver. Imagine Elon Musk coming out and saying Teslas have to put a halt to production because we don't have enough silver. Now, would that happen like that? No, they wouldn't say the word silver. It wouldn't be like that, but that's basically what would happen. Silver. I just covered an article that scientists got paid $45 million to try to find a metal to replace silver. Right? These companies, and that was in Australia. I just made a video covering this. Companies are starting to realize it, right? And I think the ones that jump in now, get ahead of the curve, are going to be the ones that survive. The ones that wait until it's too late, they're the ones that are going to be screwed. And that's just like why Mike Maloney wrote that letter to Elon Musk saying, yo, you better be buying silver now since you own SpaceX, which silver's heavily required in space equipment, Tesla, and Solar City, right? Every company, massive amounts of silver. He said, if you get in now, you'll have to pay $786 million by the year 2030. But if you wait until silver hits $100, that's $3.14 billion. And that is just, Elon's just a mascot. Just imagine every company in that type of circumstance. If they wait too long, and not only just the pricing, but the availability of silver itself. We're talking about a serious situation. Even more so than silver hitting $100. Yay, silver hits $100. We all get rich. But then what? We still don't have enough silver for the world to go green, right? Affecting our livelihood. So maybe it's quicker though. Maybe a wrench gets thrown in and things get way worse way faster. Maybe the silver shortage gets revealed in 2024, late 2023. And then the price goes up. But there's another reason why silver price go up as well, though, right? Another reason, just from hype itself. When the price of silver starts to go up, more people buy it. So we're not only talking about the industrial sector, but also the investment sector. Everyone wants a slice of the silver pie, right? Tesla, all the electric companies, the industry, but also people like you and I, the investors. So everyone is trying to get a slice of the pie, but there's not much pie left. And investors can push the price up as well. The US Mint sold 5 million Eagles the first month of January this year. That's impressive. Record-breaking sales. The US Mint is having a struggle with the silver shortage for different reasons, legal reasons, but regardless, it's pretty safe to say that there is a silver shortage. I even made a graph. I made out a math equation. How much silver's in all these reserves around the world? And now they put that in metric tons, so I calculated it all, converted it to ounces, and there's 19 billion ounces of silver left in the reserves. Now, if demand exceeded 1 billion ounces this year alone, then that would mean 19 years. But then you have to also remember that's if every vault went dry, which won't happen. But also most silver's thrown away. And demand, right now, we exceeded 1.12 billion ounces. But in 3-4 years, the demand could be 4 billion. So you can't look at it as, oh, in 19 years we'll run out, because that's just if we needed 1 billion ounces for the next decade, which is, that's obviously not going to happen, as demand is going to continue to rise. Most silver's thrown away, so we either need to recycle, we need to learn mining innovation out of the Earth's crust, they have to confiscate it from us, or look to the final frontier, which is space mining, which I've already made videos about in the past, which will be a thing someday. They're already trying to. All right, NASA already sent on a rover this year. It's an asteroid called 16 Psyche arrives to Earth by the year 2026, which ironically is the date that I say $100 silver. But regardless, something's going to happen, or they find an alternative to replace silver. I don't think they will, but maybe in 30, 40 years from now, or technology advances so fast, maybe they'll create some other type of metal that can do what silver does for a lot cheaper. So yeah, and actually in that article, they said specifically that they need to find a metal to replace silver because there's not much of it. They said that even more so than how pricey silver is. They said that there's not much silver, and since there's not much, they would have to squeeze the market buying it all, which would also push the price up. So their main concern was the shortage. It spoke for itself that that company paying $45 million to scientists to replace silver knows and is doing this because of the silver shortage. That speaks for itself, folks. So, anyways, yeah. Let me know what you think. Do you think the year 2023, 2025? I just saw someone comment on one of my videos saying $500 silver, soon. So, I've covered articles where people are saying $15,000 silver. I've heard articles saying 1,300 in a couple of years. I mean, regardless of what you think, that really doesn't matter because it's just a thought. But if you act on the thought and start investing, off of emotion and not logic, then that could be dangerous, right? You don't want to get caught up in the hype train and all that. Think realistically, invest with your head, not your heart. I want to take a second to give a shout out to my channel sponsor, bullionmax.com. I'm honored to be working with one of the best bullion dealers online. Great prices, great deals, and by far the best packaging out of any company that I've ever seen. They even offer a silver starter kit, which is 5 ounces of silver at below employee pricing, with extremely high premium coins for a great deal. It's only one per household, but a great way to lower your dollar per ounce average a bit and get a chance to grab some great coins. So shout out to Bullion Max, such a great company, always sending me silver to give away to my subscribers as well. bullionmax.com, and if you want the starter kit, go to bullionmax.com/silverslayer. And also make sure to go to ag47apparel.com if you want to express your love for precious metals with the clothes on your back. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.